What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Nintendo Friends, where we talk about everything gaming, but mostly Nintendo. I am Hector / Del, and with me, as always, is my co-host and fellow gamer, Abel. How are you doing today, Abel?
What's up, guys? I'm doing really good. I'm really excited, man, for this episode.
Yeah, man. We're actually trying the two-camera thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to work, but we're giving it a shot.
Hey, we got a lot of positive feedback from our last podcast episode. And
you guys got it up to like 2K? It was 2K.
Over 2K, yeah.
Over 2K. So, yeah, we appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
We got a lot of awesome feedback from you guys. And a lot of you guys were, kind of letting us know that you want to see a little bit more of us, and we appreciate that. And so we took it to heart. Yeah, for real. We took it to heart, and we really wanted to just kind of go the next step with this podcast, right? So we hope you enjoy this new format, and let us know in the comments if you like it, if it works out for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Today's gonna be kind of different because the format's different, but I think the subject matter that we're gonna talk about is actually different too. So I want to talk about gaming as a whole and how it ties into our mental health, how it ties in like therapy and stuff like that, So we're going to talk about therapy and gaming, and we're also going to talk about, just some of the games that melt away our worries.
Exactly.
That kind of like make us all feel fluttery inside, and like everything's okay. Yeah. Everything's okay.
Everything's good, bro. You're going to be fine.
It's all good, bro. Just let me hold your hair. Go ahead and throw up.
It's gonna be good, bro.
Yeah,
we'll be all right. So it's awesome that we're kind of talking about a little bit more of a serious topic, because video games and mental health awareness is something that kind of you can be on one end of the spectrum or the other.
Like me, autistic.
No. Or in the sense, what I mean by that is in the sense of you can be on the side of the spectrum where you think video games are an absolute abomination
and like the reason for all the violence in the world.
Right, exactly. So you can be on one end of the spectrum that is very much opposed to video games and think it's abhorrent to mental health and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Be it in our youth or in adolescence or even in adulthood and stuff like that. Or you could be on the other side of the spectrum, which we feel like, we'll talk about it, but we both feel like we kind of fall more on this side of the spectrum where,
absolutely.
We really feel like video games can be very positive and, where we feel like video games can be very positive to, someone's overall mental health. At least it is for us, but we know there's a lot of people out there that kind of share the same, if not just similar, opinions as us.
Feelings. Yeah, exactly. So, but as far as like gaming and therapy goes, how would you specifically, Abel, like talk about, or like what do you have to say as far as what games have done for you, as far as your mental health, as far as therapy goes, like let us know, like let me know, how do you feel about that?
So for me, I've kind of, you've grown up with me already for the past, already
2 years?
Going on 6 years.
Oh, 6
now.
years? Has it been that long?
Oh yeah, already
Time
almost 6 years.
Oh boy.
I know, for real. But you've kind of come to know me, for like my real personality, and I'm not afraid to share this on the internet or whatever. My personality at heart, all cameras aside and everything like that, right, is that of a very, I'm a pretty anxious individual. Like I'm one to overthink situations. I'm one to get paranoid. I'm someone who
you can get overwhelmed,
overwhelmed easily, and in social situations too, and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. We both have. And so for me, there wasn't really, I kind of always grew up with that, but I never really grew up with anything to kind of help me through that, right? And so growing up as a kid, really one of the only things that I had was video games, and so right away from an early age, video games were always a source of just comfort and relaxation, going all the way back to just being in school, being stressed out at school, overwhelmed. I went to a private school to where just it was so academically demanding, so physically demanding, just with everything that we were involved in, me and my sisters growing up. So coming home and being able to just play video games, turn on our N64, play some Zelda, play some, Mario.
Man.
It's just, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I can't express the level of like just pure relief and like relaxation that playing video games provided for me back as far back as like, grade school, fourth grade, fifth grade, because we all, we have stress at that age. A lot of people don't take kids seriously and kids stressing out about things.
Yeah,
but
you'd rather be seen and not heard.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. But the world is so big to a fourth grader, and it could be so daunting and scary. And video games are just like a key to another world where there's just so much freedom and so much space. And it just takes a load off of your shoulders. And so, yeah, that's kind of what it's been to me. And it's been like that kind of ever since, whether it was school and then college and then
the pandemic
and then COVID right
Oh my
after
gosh.
college, right after I
Especially
graduated. Yeah,
2020, yeah.
exactly. It's always been this constant, like, I could just turn to this and kind of just use it as a conduit to just relax, or an avenue to just relax. And so, yeah, all my life, it's just been there for me as a source of therapy. So I've experienced it a lot. But that being said, what about you?
For me, it's kind of the same thing. I think that I didn't really start gaming hardcore until I was like probably in middle school.
Yeah.
I mean, before that, I had like the NES and I had like a Game Boy and stuff like that. So like it was like a way to get lost in my own world, like back then, like in grade school and stuff like that. But it didn't really become like an escape, I guess, or like, because like I'm like you. I actually grew up very introverted and very shy. I would say I'm still an introvert, but like I'm an extroverted introvert.
Yeah,
like,
extroverted introvert.
Because people think that like I'm like this outgoing person and like, I which I kind of am, but I kind of was forced that way into just like, because I
get that.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And I kind of got comfortable like with it, but inside I'm terrified.
Yeah.
Like, I played music on stage in front of a bunch of people. I've had to speak in front of a lot of people, and I've grown to like, I've had to work at it, and it's like, it's a skill I've obtained, but I'm terrified on the inside.
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
So like, I'm still an introvert. I don't really like talking to people, but I will if I have to.
Right.
So until like in middle school, I started playing games. I started playing it to escape, and something like you, like I would come home and after my homework, or even just like from a long day, just like, okay, now I get to just relax and I get to just like play or whatever that I'm playing, and but I think it's become more beneficial for my mental health as an adult,
as opposed to when you were a kid.
as opposed to when I was a kid.
Interesting. See, for me, I would say the other way around.
It was more for when you were a kid.
Yeah. As an adult, I think it's an awesome, like, I think it's still an awesome form of relaxation, but specifically, like, for therapeutic purposes, I feel like it was much more impactful in those, like, high school, middle school days.
Were you bullied?
Was I bullied?
Yeah.
No, actually, I wasn't. I was...
He was the bully.
No, I was never a bully either. I was lucky. I was blessed in that sense to where I was never the one to be picked on or anything like that. My whole thing was, I kind of set myself up for a while as like kind of what I would imagine you did too. I guess we kind of have similar personality types in the sense of, we're introverted at heart, but kind of forced into extroverted situations a lot of the time. So exactly. And so even growing up, like, I kind of made myself into like sort of the class clown, in that nobody would pick on me because I can get people to laugh, or I could get them to smile.
It was kind of like you would like make fun of yourself, or you would like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like before they would even like, before they even could have a word, you would already put yourself down for humor, and they'd be like, "Oh man, like, okay, like,
exactly."
And then they would stay away. Exactly.
Because the thing is, because I mean, I'll speak for myself. Back then, I was not, a popular. I wasn't like,
popular.
Yeah, I wasn't
You
popular.
weren't
You know?
popular.
I was by no means popular. I wasn't in any sports. I looked really nerdy, you know.
What
like,
a
I was just-
loser.
Yeah, I mean, I looked like a nerd, you know, but people
Still
didn't.
do.
People, I still do. Yeah,
But
I still am a
handsome
nerd.
Handsome. Look at this mug. Look at that mug. Are you mewing right now?
Oh, is that what that is?
It's
how do I?
what the kids are doing now.
Yeah,
It's called
it's
mewing.
like-
yeah, exactly. So you know what it is.
Yeah, I got all my because now I'm a teacher, so all my students do that. But
The smolder.
yeah, the smolder. Yeah. But you know, I wasn't your typical like popular kid.
Yeah,
you know, but
I was that way too.
Yeah, exactly. But we had a lot of friends, you know, we were in a lot of social circles just because we put ourselves in those situations, you know. And I think it kept me at least from getting bullied. But I mean, did it do the same for you or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we are in the kind of the same boat, which I didn't even know about you really.
No, yeah.
I'm barely finding this out. So kind of the same thing. I would use humor to as a coping mechanism, but also just like to kind of say something before they could.
Right, as a means of getting an edge on people.
Speaking of really quick, I just want to pull up there. We had, because I'm a chunky fellow, right? I lost
He's fluffy.
I lost 50 something pounds in 2019. But since then, I actually stopped working out. I used to live with my trainer. And so like when I moved out, like I kind of stopped working out regularly and stuff like that. But I can get back into it. I've actually just started getting back into it, but I gained some of the weight back. And so one of the freaking comments on one of our first shorts, I'm wearing the Ash Ketchum costume.
Oh.
And like the haters, like I just love haters because like
That was our first
I love
short
to mess
ever,
with
I wanna
them.
say.
Yeah, so like on one comment, I think it's still there. It says, "Oh, Ash Ketchum, more like Ash Ketchup spoon and fork."
Good one. Good one.
And I'm like, all right, this dude chose to freaking be mean, but it didn't really make sense. Oh, and one of my another favorite one is I was showing like a game, like a Pikmin game or something, and some dude was like, "You should try playing a game called Gym."
Gym as in like
As in go to the gym.
go to the gym.
And I was like, the things that people put, like, it's
Got him.
It's so funny, but like I welcome it.
Yeah.
I like all of the hate comments that we get. I love, and I'm like, I just respond with like kindness, because like,
Yeah.
dude, that person, and I think this goes into kind of our topic today, mental health.
Yeah.
The reason why this person feels the need to lash out is like they're probably not happy.
Right.
They're probably really down. They're probably really broken inside, and like to respond with like more hate or even more like. Now, in my old age of 31, just seems like useless and futile
Yeah.
and not helpful. So, like, getting back to our conversation, though, getting back to the topic
Yeah.
at hand, humor.
Right.
And, like, the darkness, and it really didn't bother me too much. It was more like video games helped me with, like, the heart. Like, I wasn't made fun of, but I did feel like an outcast.
Yeah.
And I felt like people didn't get me, and also I think it was like an identity crisis. You're very young. You're learning what's cool, what's not,
Right.
and like oh, you know how it's like your friends like something, so you'll say, oh, that's cool too.
Yeah.
And you'll like it too when you have no like
idea.
You don't
what
know
it-
exactly.
Yeah.
So
No, that was a huge shift for me going into public school.
so exactly. So like
Yeah.
that's as far as that goes. Like there was a lot of that, but coming home and playing video games was a way to like, and it was a way for me to be like, you know what? I may not thrive in like the outside world, but in here, I'm a boss.
Yeah.
In here, I can be myself. I don't have to be worried about anybody else.
Yeah.
My worries off the shelf. You know,
Yeah.
I'm the boss. Like I'm the king. This is something I'm good at. I felt like I could be alive.
Yeah.
I felt like it was my world, and like
Well,
the sky was the limit.
Yeah, exactly. And if you boil it all down to one singular like word, I think it helped give us as young men, right? Just a sense of control, you know,
Yes.
like, but not in a
Hence, controller.
yeah, oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. You know, but like, you know, not in a, you know, like unhealthy or whatever, like sense of like, oh, I need to be in control of everything and this and that.
No,
but just a sense of like, man, I can actually like just do stuff here, and I can, it just gave you a sense of, like, hey, I can control what goes on here, and
it was therapeutic.
It's therapeutic.
It was really
yeah.
therapeutic, which is
because the reality is, we're not in control of anything. The reality is that, you and I, we do our part, we do everything that we can, but ultimately this world will still spin anyways, with or without us, right?
I mean, like, we believe that there's a God and he's in control. That's just what we believe. I'm not trying to put that on anybody else, but we just believe that there is a God and he's in control. So you can't really, like, if something happens, you really, like, have no control. Like, you just deal with the things that, that the problems that come at you, that try to bring you down, and like try not to react, but try to respond.
Right.
Responding is more level-headed, more like sober-minded. I think
less emotionally driven.
Emotion, and for me, video games help me do that. If there was like a problem, if I was frustrated, take it on the game. I'm playing God of War on the PS2,
right?
And like I'm beating the heck out of somebody, you know what I mean? And so, but like also like it was
they
a way
probably
to just,
deserved it. They probably deserved it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But like there's a a place where I can do that safely, where I can do that, where I'm in it's a safe space
because
too.
You have a sense of control.
Exactly.
You have
and it did wonders for my mental health. Going into my adulthood, pandemic, everything, I was scared.
Yeah.
Pandemic happened, I was scared. And so like gaming really, really helped me out. It actually made me come back into like my self-worth. So I want everybody to know really quick, before we go any further, you matter. You matter. Okay? And just because you exist. Again, we believe in somebody who's in control. And if the creator of matter says that you matter, you matter. Like, you're not here for no reason.
Right.
It is not a coincidence. We believe that you are a person with a purpose. And that goes for everybody. Video games helped me realize that. I was literally playing from 2020 to 2021. I was playing Mario, Zeldies, and a lot of Mario and Zelda. A lot. Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and like, oh my gosh, I put so much time and so many hours into those games. But it wasn't just like Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. It was actually like past stuff. I think like around that time the Super Mario 3D All-Stars came out.
Right.
And so like I played a lot of Super Mario 64, Mario,
Sunshine?
Galaxy and Sunshine.
Galaxy, yeah.
And then with Zelda, I went back and played a lot of Ocarina. I played a lot of old Zelda games.
Yeah. Macarena of
on
Time.
My PC, the Macarena of Time. Can you imagine? Yeah. Hestu. You know who Hestu is? Please tell me you know who Hestu is.
Yes, I know who Hestu is.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah. You're the Zelda guy. You should know. Do it again.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
How?
Anyway, I can't do it.
So, and it kind of like made me believe like I was having fun and I had a lot of time with myself and I talked to myself. Not like, hey, Hector, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. No, not like that. It was just like
self-reflection.
Yeah, almost, a little self-reflection, and because I'm a social butterfly. I've said this like in some of our videos, and being cut off from that, I had to be alone with myself, and it was really terrifying.
Yeah.
I actually I'm not gonna get into my whole life story here, but I went through depression around 2015, 2016, and I got out of that. Thank God. I got out of it, but I started going back into those thoughts, kind of.
Yeah.
But video games help me stay level-headed, level-minded, I guess, and kind of like keep me grounded, which is kind of crazy because it's like a fantasy world.
No,
it's like
exactly.
But they were able to keep me grounded and be like, no, like, why would you want to throw everything away? And I guess it was like the combination of doing like the hand-eye coordination, doing something while I was thinking,
right,
that really like helped me to be like, yo, like, no, like that's crazy, like. Why would I want to throw it all away? Why would I want to,
Yeah.
Like that's like don't go through that again. Like you're worth it.
Yeah.
And everybody, the people that love you are gonna feel sad, and like maybe it is a little selfish. Maybe to just like call it quits.
Yeah.
Like, and guys, it's hard. We've been there. If you've been there, like I've been there, but there is light on the other side. And I really wanted to, you know, want everybody to know that. But also, it did wonders for that. The video games did. So
No, yeah, for real. And I think it, you know, I feel like people don't give video games enough credit. You know,
they don't.
Because like it in and of themselves, it takes a lot to make a video game, right? But also too, you know, there are developers, there are people, there's a whole community of creators who are doing this with the intent, you know, for people to have fun, for people to experience something new, for people to, you know, get something positive out of it, you know. Nothing, if nothing else, just have a positive time, you know, playing it.
I think it's because video games, the sole purpose is for a consumer to enjoy.
Right, exactly.
And like, it's never, I don't think any developer would want to develop a game where you didn't have a good time, unless it was like for a certain purpose, right? But like,
or unless it was like a gag game, or
right?
something
Exactly.
like that, you know.
But like, they're made to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
And like, they're made to take people away to far off worlds and, you know, get frustrations out and, you know, just.
Well, speaking of that, what would you say are some of the games that like helped you out the most, or just some of those like, man, I even now, like, I can turn this game on and it's, you know, it just hits me. It's
well, I feel like the first game that we should talk about is a game that we both feel really strongly about, Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Hence the background of what's behind you.
Yeah. You see that?
You got some Tom Nook and the Nookies.
Little Nookie boys. Chilling out. Yeah. No, but definitely Animal Crossing, the whole series in general, but specifically for me, New Horizons.
New Horizon,
yeah.
A little bit of New Leaf before I got New Horizons, but
yeah, I know a lot of people who would say New Leaf for sure.
Like,
I know my sister would.
Before, but then, you know, that I would say that Animal Crossing New Horizons is my first really full Animal Crossing game that I played, like, because I barely started on New Leaf, but like, it was nice, you know, the little time I had with it. But Animal Crossing New Horizons is like the game that I would probably say, one of the games, sorry, not the main game, but one of the games that I would say really, really helped with that. I mean, it helped everybody in 2020.
No, for real, yeah.
Celebrities.
It was a huge,
you know what I mean? And like, it kind of connected the world. You know, people would go on dates. People would go, you know, because they couldn't talk to each other, touch each other.
Yeah, in real.
So
in
real life. So like, that's one of the things. That just they really, it's not like the most perfectly graphical, you know, or graphically impressive game, but it's very polished.
It is,
it's very, I mean, it's Nintendo just like at, you know, probably their best, or like part of, you know, one of the times that they're at their best, and it just creates an escape. The world is so beautiful. It's so calm and peaceful.
Yeah.
I really just like everything that you do in that game. It's like the world, the sounds, it's the sound, it's the ambiance.
Oh yeah,
it's the ambiance for me.
But you know what it is for me? It's like,
what is it for you?
Well, I'll tell you.
Let me know.
Well, for me, it's really just like.
While you talk, I'm gonna drink water.
Okay, drink some nice non-brand.
Ice cold water. Any SpongeBob fans? No. All right, go ahead. I've interrupted you enough. Go ahead.
That's okay. For me, the biggest thing is like, I love that it's one of those games to where you can really just take your time with it. It's self-paced, right? So you don't ever, it's not like, you know, some of the older Zelda games where it's just like, you know, you got to continue the story, otherwise there's really nothing to do, you know? It's like, you're just like, okay, I got to go battle this boss and go to this temple and this and that. It's real streamlined, you know? And a lot of people like that about the Zelda games, and I do too, but with this game in particular, it's like, you know, you can take your time, you can just have fun with it, you can whatever, you know. Yes, there are things to do and there is like a, you know, a story to progress, but it's not to where like, you know, you can't do anything.
What's the part of that game that makes you feel the most calm?
Like what aspect of the game?
Yeah, like is it the aquarium? Is it like?
Oh, I see. Okay.
What area?
You know, honestly, for me, in the beginning, it was just like my house, you know, decorating my house.
Oh, okay,
and, like,
decorating the house.
You know,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And like I would have my couches set up, and I would always have like low lighting and stuff like that, and it was just always like so peaceful in my house.
Nice.
But now that you know, I've progressed through, you know, pretty much all of the game, I downloaded the DLC. I got the Happy Home Academy and all that stuff.
Nice. I have yet to play that, but go ahead.
No, yeah, the Happy Home Academy is great. I think it's a lot of fun. And if you guys don't know, the Happy Home Academy DLC is just basically like you get to travel to an island that has a bunch of different, like it has a school building, it has a cafe, it has a restaurant, it has all these different buildings and houses that are like completely, you know, just like empty and blank. And so you're working for the Happy Home Academy, and you're going out helping people design their dream homes and getting paid for it. And so like the more stuff you like rack up, the more you can like buy, you know, exclusive items and stuff like that. But also too, you'll get to a certain point where you can start like designing your own stuff on the island, like the school and the restaurant and stuff like that.
Sorry, my fan turned off. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. But that to me has been super just relaxing and therapeutic. You know, I don't know what it is about the DLC. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, like I have a nice little school building, and like I have a nice cafe that I'm building, you know. And
sweet.
So I love it. I just think it's so much fun. The Roost is another great.
Oh, the coffee. Yeah. But what's another game that you feel like?
Well, you know, one for me, that I think we can both relate to, is
do tell.
is actually Smash Brothers.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you know, for those of you guys who don't know, Dell actually hosts Smash Nights.
Smash Bros. Nights.
Smash Bros. Nights.
Sir.
Yeah. Every Monday over here in Nintendo Friends HQ. And
on the TV behind you.
Yeah, exactly, on this TV. So like a bunch of us will get together and, you know, play Smash Bros. And something about that game is just so therapeutic for me. Like, but it's also, I think the thing that
Are you a violent guy?
No.
You got some anger in you?
What I think is the most therapeutic aspect of it is you're playing with friends, you know? I also think, you know, other like team games are also really therapeutic for me too. But it's just playing with friends, you know? Yeah. That aspect of Smash Brothers to me is super therapeutic.
It just melts your things.
Yeah, and we're just like chilling with friends and stuff like that.
Good times, good conversations. Yeah.
Right.
Laughs. Yeah.
Exactly. So Smash Brothers is another one. Purely because of the way we do it, right? If I was just playing it on my own, it probably wouldn't be therapeutic. But you know, when we play it together, like, you know, if I am able to make it to a Smash night, then it's super therapeutic.
Yeah, for sure. Another one for me would probably have to be Stardew Valley.
Oh yeah, of course.
The soundtrack and ambiance again. It's ambiance for me, man.
Yeah.
The soundtrack and the sounds and just that alone is just really, it's very well put together. It's very fun to play, very relaxing to play, and it's just, yeah, man,
yeah.
You know, little sounds and that you hear while you're like chopping wood and, you know, cutting the grass and watering your plants and
just so pleasant,
feeding the chickies, you know, and everything like that. There's a part of that game, the dog is kind of annoying just because like I'm just like watering my stuff and he's like bah, bah. And it's like it kind of takes me out of it, but it's just fun. I love him. But yeah, man, just like getting the farm, getting the mine, and getting to talk with the people, dating the people, and I don't ever want to be a jerk, like, because people like date multiple people in that game, you know, and they tend to like cheat. And you know, they're living out their fantasies. Yeah. Apparently. So but I don't do that. Right. I'm not here to shame. I'm just here to, these are just the facts, right? But I really like playing that game, and it's very therapeutic for me. So. Yeah,
no, that's a good one. When you're talking about ambiance, the other game that I had was, and again, it's heavy ambiance and heavy music too. It's Ocarina of Time.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I mean, right, like from that opening alone, that intro, it's just, oh man. But you know what? I also think it's soundtrack, but also too, like, I think what helps with a lot of these games, to add to kind of like the whole therapeutic experience is the nostalgia. You know, nostalgia is such a
really good factor.
Yeah, it's such a like potent factor in like the overall therapeutic experience and just like mental health. You know, it's like I don't know what other word other than like, it's like euphoric almost, you know. It's just it's nice to just have that like sense of nostalgia.
Yeah, simpler times, you know, and just times when you were a kid where you didn't really have too many worries, you know, like you didn't have bills, you know what I mean, you didn't have you know what I mean, you didn't have responsibilities, you know, you just, I get it. I get it.
And so just, you know, riding around on Epona or whatever, or going to Clock Town, or, you know, or just doing the game in general, you know, going through the game, it's like I find that extremely therapeutic.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good one.
Yeah. For me, going back to nostalgia, I would have to probably put down Star Wars Battlefront, the 2004, the first one.
Yeah.
And
man, that's nostalgia.
Now that it's on Switch, oh my gosh, I can take it everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's great. They fixed it for Switch, by the way. When it released, they had a lot of problems. When the game would load, it used to go boop boop boop. Doo, 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 brrr. I just hit myself in the face. It didn't have that.
Yeah.
And they patched it recently. So I was like, oh yes, finally the game I remember. But it's great, man. Like just the fighting. It was literally the closest you got to playing with like your Star Wars figures.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like as a kid, and just like pew pew pew, but you actually get to live it out.
Yeah.
And you're like you're in the prequel world. You're also in the original trilogy world, and it's just really, really. It was so much fun, so nostalgic. Spent a lot of time playing that, and now that it's on Switch, I can relive the glory days. I can relive those happy times, and I can just let everything melt away.
Yeah. No, for real. The last game I had that I wanted to share was something that's, you know, really random, I feel, but when I explain why, I think it'll make sense. Another game or games, actually, game series that really like I've found to be really therapeutic for me are actually the Game & Watch games.
Really?
The Game & Watch games, yeah. And a sense of nostalgia, because I had like the Game Boy Game & Watch Gallery games.
Oh, nice.
You know, I had those.
I think they put like the second one of the sequels on Switch recently.
I think so, yeah. I'm trying to remember which one.
Months ago.
But I had a lot of those for the Game Boy Color and stuff like that growing up, and so I would play those all the time. But something about games to where you can kind of just like, games to where you can kind of just like turn off your brain a little bit, and just left, boop, right, boop, beep, left, beep, and like the little beeping sounds, like ambiance, the noises, you know, it's just really therapeutic for me. We did a video a while back on the Game & Watch, the Zelda Game & Watches.
Great video.
Yeah, great video. You guys should check it out.
Check it out right here somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. But in that video we were talking about it and how it's got like the clock and everything, and you know, it has the original Zelda game.
Yep.
You know, all that stuff too is just like so therapeutic to me. Like, I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's just like the simplicity of it. You know, the simplicity of just like juggling, or the simplicity of just like, you know, just like I love it. I think it's really therapeutic.
Interesting.
And it's something I can turn my brain off, you know, and just kind of do it for fun. So yeah, that's it. That's the last one that I had that I could really was like, oh, you know, this is really therapeutic for me. But yeah, I don't know. Try it out if you haven't played a Game & Watch game. They're really nice.
It's on Switch. It's on Nintendo Switch Online. And the last one for me is going back
a ways.
Yeah.
More than Game & Watch?
No. For me though, like one of the earliest games I ever played was Pokemon Blue.
Oh yeah, Pokemon. I didn't even think about Pokemon.
Yeah, you didn't.
Oh my gosh. Talk about, you know, being in a whole other world. Like, that is such a submersion into that world, you know.
Yeah, well, too bad you forgot. This is my story.
So Ruby, guys. Ruby for me was all right, go ahead. Share your Pokemon Blue. I'm sure it's very cool.
No, but yes. Pokemon Blue is the soundtrack alone.
Yeah.
It's just my favorite
music, man.
Yeah,
Music's
probably
so
my
therapeutic
favorite
for us.
gaming soundtrack. And just it was the first game I think I was really truly immersed in.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I would say that because I felt like it was me. I was the trainer.
Yeah.
I was the Pokemon trainer. Because I did play Super Mario Bros. And, you know.
Yeah, but you never thought, oh, I'm Mario.
It's,
you know, like,
I never thought it's a me,
Yeah.
Mario. It was he, Mario.
but you get to name your character.
Yeah, I get to name my
Pokemon.
character. And so that was really just the best. It was the best time. Truly no worries. I was a little boy. I was a little kid. And I hadn't any responsibility. Just like, it was so fun just because it went hand in hand with the anime, and just watching all of that stuff, and getting to talk about, like, it was an experience because I got to talk about it with my friends when I got home, when I went back to school.
You got home from a long day
When I got
at work.
from, all my friends would be there. Just surprise! No. But I would get to go back to school and talk about it, like, oh, guess what I caught? I caught a Jigglypuff, and it's like, oh, I gotta find that.
I caught a Poopachu.
It's like, did you catch the glitch? And I'm like, huh? They're like, there's a glitch, you gotta get it.
You gotta stand under a
You
truck.
guys can't throw it over. But it was the game, right? It was the game growing up for me, and when
Child
I play
of the
it,
90s.
when I play it now, it's just great. I would kind of tie Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, because it is kind of the same game around whatever.
Yeah.
But I've actually really liked catching the Pokemon, like Pokemon Go. But it's just a different game, you know. But it's the music that really gets it. It's the soundtrack. So, but that would be my last game.
Yeah. No,
I mean, there's more, right? There's more that we can essentially talk about. There's more that we can say that.
Yeah, we can go on this topic,
just
honestly.
like Breath of the Wild would be another one. But, Tears of the Kingdom. But we want to keep this short. Keep this podcast short because we're actually running out of time. So
we gotta get going.
We gotta get going. But guys, let us know how you feel. How you feel about gaming and therapy,
mental health.
Mental health. Has it helped you? Has it not helped you? Have you been like, yo, this game is hella violent and it's bad for me.
Yeah. Or maybe not even that, not specifically violence. Have you ever, if you guys have, share an experience of maybe, you kind of got into it a little too much and you had to take a step back.
Yeah, there you go.
Get your priorities straight, because
that's something that we didn't talk about.
Yeah, but that's something that happens to a lot of people.
I've been there too. You know what I mean? I didn't go to work one day because I was playing Celeste and I finished it like the whole day.
But was that the healthiest decision to make?
It wasn't.
So.
But they could. No, you're asking the real you're asking the real important questions. So, mental health in general, it's just been really mostly beneficial for us.
Right.
And
man,
so,
I kind of want to do like a follow-up podcast on this because I feel like there's so much more that we can talk about.
Yeah, that we can expand on. But I mean, like, I think I really wanted to talk about this topic because it deserves a discussion. It ignites a discussion.
Yeah.
So let us know in the comments how you feel about that. All of your feel. Did we miss any of the games that make you feel great? That make you have the worries just go away and just flutter away.
Yeah.
Say bye-bye. Bye. No, we're
copyright.
Copyright.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for just watching our videos in general. And this, what are you doing?
I was looking at the camera.
Why are you licking your lips like that? He's like, thank you guys.
Thank you guys
so much.
So attractive. Fan base is so attractive.
But this podcast is sponsored by Dubby.
Yes.
Yes, so if you Dubby is a very, very awesome energy company. It's powder based and it's so great, and it doesn't have any of that junk in it. It makes you feel great. It makes you just really focus on what you're doing. You could use it in a car. You can use it in a bar. You can use I turned into Dr. Seuss when we're doing this sponsorship, man. But you can get 10% off when you use our code NIN10. That's NIN, the number 10. And you will get 10% off.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, they have a new flavor. I forgot what it's called, but
it was the yellow one, right?
It's like purple and yellow, and yellow. It's great.
Looks cool.
It looks delicious. Is what it looks like.
I would just drink it like that.
It looks like something that Grimace and Lemonade would make or something. It looks great.
What is the pink one's name? Oh no.
The pink Grimace?
Sorry.
There's a pink Grimace?
No, the yellow one, the yellow bird thing from McDonald's.
From McDonald's?
Yeah.
Isn't it Birdie? Isn't it just Birdie?
It looks like something Grimace and Birdie would collab on and create. Yeah.
But anyway, and you can get some of that Birdie Grimace goodness for only 10% off, you know, if you use our code NIN10. That's NIN, the number 10. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you on the next one.
Later, guys.
Bye-bye.
Nice.
The podcast isn't done yet, man. They're still watching.
Don't look at me.